Betrayed by a false accusation, I rebuilt my life abroad after a devastating lie from my ex. My family turned their backs on me, leaving me to fend for myself. So, I started fresh in a new country. Last night, they showed up at my door, pleading for reconciliation. I shut them out. My ex had falsely accused me of a heinous crime to cover her own infidelity, and my family abandoned me years ago. Now, they want to reconnect, but I've shown them the thriving life and family they missed out on. When I confronted my ex-girlfriend about her cheating, she panicked and spread a vicious lie, claiming I had assaulted her to hide her betrayal. Fortunately, there was no evidence to support her claim, but I was detained during the investigation. Most of my friends cut contact, and my parents disowned me. Even after a jury cleared my name, my parents still believed I was guilty and got lucky. With only my best friend secretly supporting me, I left everything behind. With no one to turn to and my college restricting me to submitting assignments remotely while barring me from classes, I had nothing left. I found a cheap apartment far from my hometown and scraped by with odd community jobs to stabilize my life. Eventually, I changed my name, as seeing my old one filled me with disgust for reasons I still don't fully grasp. This gave me a clean slate. Returning to university, I made new connections and slowly rebuilt. Looking back, I was broke and buried in debt, but I pushed forward. After earning my teaching degree, I moved to a distant country where I now live. I settled into a great job and a comfortable apartment. There, I met a woman who would become my wife. At first, trust was hard. I'd flinch at her touch or feel uneasy when she got close, but her patience won me over. I fell deeply in love. We welcomed our twin son and daughter, whom I cherish and will protect fiercely. Her family embraced me, reminding me what a loving family feels like. My wife and I built a joyful life with our kids in a beautiful home, until last night. While playing video games with my son, my wife and daughter tending the garden, there was a knock at the door. It was my father, offering a weak smile. Before he could speak, I slammed the door, startling my son. I asked my wife to take our daughter to bed while I calmed him. As my father kept knocking, I lost my composure. My wife, after soothing me, opened the door. When she asked who he was, he said he was my father. I'd shared vague details of my past with her, and she was heartbroken for me. Furious, she berated him for abandoning me. Once calm, I told her to let him in and keep our kids occupied while I spoke with him. He explained he'd been helping my ex by clearing data from her phone when he found messages between her and her affair partner, where she expressed regret for ruining my life and wished she could undo it. He said he searched for me to apologize and admit he believed me, but didn't confront her to avoid reopening old wounds. I don't know how he tracked me down, but it's irrelevant now. He's here. I'm torn on what to do. After wandering the streets alone, I've considered telling him to leave me be and return home, reconciling and informing my mother, or something else entirely. I'm taking tomorrow off work due to stress. My father is staying nearby, and I'll likely give him my decision soon. Thank you in advance for any advice. Comments. Comment 1. Doesn't it seem odd that your father was helping your ex by wiping her phone? Why was he still in contact with her? And why would he snoop through her messages? That's not something someone just helping does. It's a red flag. He disowned you, stayed in touch with the woman who ruined your life, found the truth, and somehow tracked you across the globe. Are you ready to let this chaos near your family? Comment 2. You're right, it doesn't add up. This situation is messy, and I hate that you're stuck in it. I'm struggling to know how to respond to all his excuses. Comment 3. This is heartbreaking. False accusations destroy lives, and those who make them should face consequences. Your father was quick to abandon you without giving you a chance. My advice, keep him out of your life. You can forgive if you want, but why is he suddenly trying to reconcile? Thanks for sharing your story, and I wish you the best. Comment 4. Thank you. I'm leaning toward cutting him off completely. I'm not forgiving by nature, and he needs to face the consequences of his actions. Comment 5. As a first-time commenter, I'm not sure if this is good advice, but only you can decide. Having your father leave might give you space to process this. It's unfair this was dropped on you, but you can reach out later if you're ready. You control this situation. Take your time and decide what gives you the most peace. Comment 6. I know it's my call in the end. My son asked who was at the door, and I couldn't bring myself to say it was his grandfather. Additional details. I know it comes down to whether I want them in my life. Not every question has a clear answer. I'm just trying to piece things together with different perspectives. Looking back, I don't get why they abandoned me so easily. Even if she sent fake texts, she would have shown them to the police, who said there wasn't enough evidence. It's hard to connect the dots, and I don't really want to. It's like a nightmare. Thanks for the input. I'll decide soon. Update 1. Sorry for my silence. I've decided not to reconcile with my father. I just can't forgive him. Here's what happened. The day after my post, I visited his hotel and told him I wouldn't reconnect. He was emotional but understanding. He said he'd cut my ex out of the family and told my mother the truth. Like many of you, I asked why they stayed in touch with her. He claimed she felt too guilty to let go. I'm skeptical, but it's enough closure for me. My mother was upset and tried to get my number, but my father stopped her. I think it's a ploy to pull me back in, and I don't trust much of it. It sickens me that they discarded me like garbage. I told my son it was a coworker at the door. When my kids are older, I'll share my past to show I understand hardship. We're doing well, and my father promised to keep my new life secret. I'll update if anything changes. Thank you for your support. Please stand by anyone who's been through this. Don't abandon them. Update 2. Before my father found me, my life was peaceful, but his arrival triggered this chaos. My family broke a promise, which infuriated me. I flew back home to confront my parents, brother, and even my ex. I was nervous but realized I no longer saw them as family, unlike my wife, kids, and in-laws. My mother cried and apologized, but it repulsed me. My brother stayed calm and started talking, but I cut him off, saying this was on my terms. I wanted closure, not reconciliation, and warned them I'd involve the police if they followed me. I asked why they abandoned me so quickly. They said seeing me detained hurt them, and they made a rash decision. I called them out for not defending me. I also asked about my father going through my ex's phone. He said she asked him to clear junk data, and he found her chats with friends. I accepted it, as he's always been tech-savvy. My brother claimed he tried contacting me, but I ignored him. Turns out, my mother had blacklisted my number on his phone plan, so I never got his messages offering help. My ex admitted she lied out of fear and claimed she still loved me, feeling guilty in therapy. She even asked for another chance, but my father found logs of her with 3 other partners while I was abroad, proving she lied again. I showed them photos of my kids' milestones, family trips, and my wife's support, showing what they lost. I felt I went too far, but remembered their betrayal was worse. My best friend and his family were there, and I'm grateful they supported me when no one else did. I plan to show my kids their cultural roots someday, but won't let them near my old family. My wife, kids, and in-laws are my true family. It went well. Edit. To answer questions, I've allowed my brother to visit and meet my kids. We weren't close growing up due to rivalry, so I was hesitant. He only had my old number, and I don't use social media, so his attempts to reach me failed. My family will decide if we pursue legal action against my ex. I'm over it now and happy with my new life. My brother will keep me updated. I feel at peace now that they're out of my life. Story 2. My wife's secret betrayal when my kids innocently revealed my wife's hidden friend, who played their father while I was away. I uncovered her affair. With my mother-in-law's help, I caught them in the act. My ex-wife and I were married for 8 years, deeply in love, or so I thought. I never imagined I'd share this heartbreak here. We worked together at the same company, growing close. After I was transferred to lead a new branch in another state, our bond strengthened. I was drawn to her intelligence, and though I didn't have feelings at first, daily chats after my transfer sparked something. Months later, I asked her out, and she said yes without hesitation. We dated for 3 years before marrying. I left that job due to an issue but quickly found better work in our state, though it required frequent travel. We had a daughter in our 2nd year of marriage and a son in our 5th. Fatherhood was my greatest joy, and I made sacrifices to ensure my family's comfort. My wife and I raised our kids together, splitting costs 70-30 despite her good income. I took on most responsibilities and supported her through tough times, like her 3-year fallout with her mother, when she barred her from seeing our kids. I did everything to make her happy, even indulging unnecessary requests. We had special date nights, sent the kids to her mother's for weekends, and took annual vacations to keep our marriage alive. I treated her like royalty, but it wasn't enough. I learned of her betrayal by chance. A business trip was canceled, giving me extra time with my kids. While playing, I promised them ice cream, breaking their mother's rule. As they ate, they mentioned their mother's secret friend, who acted as their father during my trips, even staying overnight in our room. They said he gave them ice cream in secret too. Furious that a stranger was in my home, I kept calm and asked the kids not to tell their mother I knew. That night, I subtly questioned my wife, but she deflected. Unable to find evidence on her phone, I planned to catch her. 3 days later, I lied about a 5-day business trip. She dropped the kids off and went grocery shopping, thinking I'd taken an Uber to the airport. I hid in the basement. 2 hours later, a man arrived, and she kissed him passionately before inviting him in. I called her mother, explained everything, and asked her to help pack my wife's things as our marriage was over. Her mother arrived, screaming at her daughter. My wife was stunned to see me emerge from the basement. I couldn't confront her or her lover, so I took the kids away to shield them from the chaos and told her to leave before I returned. A paternity test confirmed the kids were mine. I explained their mother's betrayal in simple terms, and with my lawyer's help, I gained custody. My ex has tried using the kids to reach me, but I've warned them against it. I'm focused on raising them alone and won't remarry until they're older. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.